Chernes, let me start with you. As we all know, you know, the United situation, it started off well. They signed a lot of players, and a lot was expected from them. And then, you know, it didn't go well, and the manager got the sack. Now they got a new guy in, Ralf Ragnick. I mean, it seems like ever since the guy got hired, everybody has great things to say about him. To call him the professor, the master, his pupils of Tuchel and club. I mean, the dude seems like, he invented football or something like that. What do you think about how he started so far, how his season has started, and how you see him going forward with the United team?
I mean, personally, from what I've seen so far, man, he's done a good job. I mean, I want to give Ole his credit, because he was there for a while, and what he did was he rebuilt the culture that United used to have. Might not be there yet, but now they have a culture. Usually teams, especially in the EPL, if you want to be successful, you got to have a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea has a culture. Liverpool has a culture. Man City has a culture. All the big clubs have cultures. Arsenal's finding its rhythm and culture back with the youth, So I think Ole did a good job with the culture. Now we have all these names, right? There's Varane. Ronaldo's back in the locker room. That locker room is hard to handle. I think Renick's going to have trouble managing the big names, because I don't think he has much experience with big names.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the long run, if he does stay, he's going to do a good job with what United has. I don't want to say, they're going to win a trophy in this season, next season, but he is going to get them back to where they want to be if he stays. I hope he gets the opportunity to stay, because I like what I've seen so far. They're pressing. They're dominating the ball, which I haven't seen Man U do in a while, to be honest. And I think after this January window, this summer, we'll get rid of some names. Like I don't see Pogba staying. They'll start buying, as long as he has success. They'll start re-ramping the roster to what he wants to do, his idea. But short term, I think he's done a good job, and I would like to see him long term, to be honest.
Then, I mean, I know you weren't a big fan of Ole so far. I mean, you were, but then as things started going left, you kind of agreed that he has to go. What have you seen from Ralph so far? Are you encouraged by it? Are you still concerned? Or is there like, give him time and let's see where it goes?
Yeah, I think not really to say encouraged, but from what was really said about him, I thought it was going to be like an instant impact. But remember that when he came in at first, he didn't come in with all his coaching stuff, because there were some of the old coaching stuff as well. And I mean, it's really going to take some time. And I think after a week, one of that coaching staff joined, and the others are joining. And the funny thing is that even when Ole was there, Darren Fletcher wasn't part of the coaching staff. So how come technical director Darren Fletcher is now sort of running assistants?
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing on the side. So I feel that this problem with United, it's more than like the on-field like issue. It's like a grounds issue that it has to be really taken care of. And it's a good appointment, because Ranick has actually managed a lot of teams, and I mean, Tuchel, Klopp, they are all talking about him. The thing is that looking at a name like Ronaldo, who came to Man United, not really a planned signing, okay? But then I think that changed the whole dimension of Man United season with so much expectation. I mean, Ronaldo would demand a lot from the players, right? And I think that was the turning point for all the players, because we just see what is on the field. We don't know what is happening on like in the dressing room. I mean, there might be a backlash from him and all that, and sometimes his body language on the field and all that. These young players as well, and I think that was a huge factor. But Ranick's impression on Man United I haven't seen it yet. I think the only time I saw that was, I think, the first 30 minutes of the Crystal Palace Man United game, where they really pushed Crystal Palace high up. And anytime Crystal Palace got the ball, they were really high pressing, because all we knew about Rangnick was the gegen press, right? I mean, but after the first 30 minutes of the Crystal Palace game, I never saw anything then. I mean, Arsenal, it was like almost a 50-50 match. I mean, looking at how Rangnick set up his team, they really play high up on the pitch, make it very difficult for other teams to really play their way into their own half. If you listen to the man, he always talks about keeping the ball away from like your side. And we seen that yet. Watching the Norwich game, I mean, we were all on our seat, on the edge of our seat. Like, you get what I'm saying? And that shouldn't be the way. And that wasn't what like I was expecting. I was expecting United to be pressed high up on the pitch, possessive play, really dominating games and really creating chances. So
Daniel,
for my
well, let me play devil's advocate real quick. Do you think that he hasn't had enough time? Because I don't think you can just install some tactics and expect your team to know it in 2 weeks, right? Like coaches get like preseason where they get 3, 4, 5 weeks of just practicing and 2 days and just drilling in, right? Is it a thing where they just haven't had time?
Very good. I thank you for bringing that point, because I listened to one of his press conference, and I mean, he made mention of the players' fitness. And looking at these pressing games, your players have to be really pressing for 90 minutes. You get what I'm saying? For 90 minutes. And it's like something new to the players. You get what I'm saying? And if you really even watch the Newcastle match, you can see that they were really struggling, because I learned that they even trained like in the evening, I mean, like a day before the game. So you could see that like it's something new, like he's trying to do something, but then it will take some time. As you said, it's really going to take some time, because you really need players' fitness. And remember that, I mean, some of the players were also hit by COVID and all. So I think it will take some time. The way people are really expecting, like we were expected immediate impact. But as we can see so far, I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I know that it will happen, but then it will take some time. Watching the Burnley game, I think it was really fun to watch, in the sense that, I mean, we try to push very high on the pitch, even though if we do that, it means that we leave our defensive line also prone to attack and all that. So, I mean, it will really take time. And he also came, sadly, at a bad time, in the sense that like COVID started hitting and all that. And I mean, what he wanted to, I mean, incorporate, he hasn't really got a chance to do that yet. And I think it will really take some time. And looking at the United team right now, I mean, it's like he talks about team play, and that's what we lack, because we have brilliant players in our team, but what we lack is about team play. So I think, I mean, it will come. It's not way near where we are supposed to be.
I like your optimism.
Nowhere near where we're supposed to be. Yeah.
Hey, at least the best thing you can be is optimistic, because as a fan, you don't want to say this is not going to work. It's over. But
yeah, I mean,
before I go back to Rob, let me get Ibn your thoughts real quick. But Ibn, I want you to be realistic, because you're always being a hater on this thing. Every time there's a rival team, I want realistically, after you've seen them, where do you see this coach? Because you only gave him a 6-month contract, and I mean, he's only going to be coaching them until May, and then he's going to go up, and then they're going to get a new coach with new ideas. So this is just a very temporary installment, right? Where do you see this thing going?
So, yeah, as you mentioned, it is an interim project that they have going on currently. And keeping that in mind, that it's an interim project, and also getting the players to buy into your philosophy, it takes time. So will time favor him for him to like fully instill what exactly he likes to do? I highly doubt it. But again, looking at the circumstance in Manchester United, like the couple of players that they do have, they're capable of performing at the higher level of your game. But now it's an instance whereby we're in this position where we have COVID going on, player fatigue and whatnot. And those are little contributing factors that actually have an overall effect of the team entirely. So would he be able to accomplish his overall goal over the time? That I don't know. How are they playing football right now? I think currently their approach of playing football is gradually improving. But one thing that I had to comment on was the most recent game that they did play. The formations were a little weird to me. Playing 4-2-2. So it's a weird formation, which I haven't seen. But again, it's a learning curve in the sense that coming into a new league, trying to understand like the dynamics of a team that has already been built by somebody else with their own philosophy, and you're trying to get into buy into yours. It's totally different. So in the long run, is 6 months enough for him to fully execute his task? Probably not. Would he be able to get the team to move in the right direction? Maybe, but what are the chances? We don't know. It has to be proven over and over again. And for it to be proven over and over again is you probably granting him an extension with the contract. And then that's when you can probably highlight like, hey, this is what is going well. This is definitely wrong. And to Daniel's point, in terms of having like a immediate impact on the team, again, that is an expectation that you would definitely have for a coach. For example, with Tuchel, right? We didn't have that impact. We didn't have that expectations of him to have like a solid impact on the team from day one. But he was able to transform the team. So I didn't. When he was coming, I don't know what he was going to do with Chelsea. And we have videos. We have videos of that. So that thing is right there where people don't really know. But I feel like with Tuchel being able to go with Chelsea to win the Champions League, that story or that delusion is still out there where people think, oh, it's possible. And again, he mentored him. So if he did that, why can't he replicate that in United? But again, each scenario is different. You cannot treat it the same way. So I think we just have to give him time, allow him to do his thing. If it's meant for him to be the permanent coach at United, then okay, we can now assess him and say, okay, this is what his game looks like. These are weak areas of his game, and then we can kind of like analyze this like how we've done with Ole and other coaches in the league.
Roberto.
What do you think? Can I just add something?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and I'll let Rob go.
Yeah. Watching his press conference, you could tell from his body language that, he could really tell that there's a lot of work to be done, like, in the team. And I feel like that is a very good thing to notice because, when he's always speaking, like, he's really tactically astute. Do you get what I'm saying? But tactically astute aside, he hasn't really managed that size of a football club before. Do you get what I'm saying? As compared to Tuchel, who really managed like big names like Neymar and Mbappe before coming to Chelsea. So I think it's a different thing. But the hype that he actually came with, there was so much expectation. We really expected like an immediate impact. But he himself saw that. There was a lot of work to be done.
I blame the media.
It's really going to.
The way that they were describing the dude, you would think he invented football. No, but
the thing is that when you watch other videos of him, like I think he's had a lot of football conferences, like with other coaches, upcoming coaches, and all that, and they really talk about him, like how he speaks and all that. You could see that, like he really has the football brain. But
I think
it's another thing you having
the
football brain and managing big players, bringing all of them together. Like it's a whole different thing altogether. So I think it's really going to take some time. Seriously, it will.
Well,
I got one question for my man, you guys. If he does stay long term, do you guys think the players you guys currently have on the roster are going to be able to last the season with that high press? Because I'm thinking he has that high press style, and I love coaches like that. I love watching Leeds United, but that takes a toll on your roster, and it looks like Cavani's staying. He's not going anywhere. Ronaldo's going to be there because honestly, I feel like nobody really wants him at the moment, and nobody can afford him. A few teams in the world can afford him. You guys are one of them. He's home. So I'm looking at Cavani. I'm looking at Varane's coming off an injury. And Bailey played last game. I'm not sure why. Maybe you guys can tell me why.
Lindelof, I think, had COVID.
Yeah, had COVID. Yeah, Lindelof.
I look at the
and
roster.
I think he was also saying that Varane, he didn't want to really risk Varane starting the game because the last time he played consecutive games after an injury, he went back to injury, so he didn't really want to risk Varane. So that's why he.
Well, I just want to know if you guys think the roster you guys have now is going to be a roster that he's going to be able to be successful with throughout a full season if he stays. If he gets, got contract extension as the coach.
You mean in the summer?
In the summer, yeah. Let's say he stays and he gets a year extension, 2-year extension. With the roster you guys have right now, do you guys think you guys will be successful or you guys are missing something?
Because I would think, I don't know if this is true, but I would think that he would want, because his contract right now is for the 6 months, and then he's going up there to be like director or whatever. But I would think he would like to coach the team. That would be his first.
I heard that. And then it's who?
Listening.
There's nobody. Maybe he has people in mind, but they would kind of have to fit a style that he is coaching them currently, right? Because it wouldn't make sense to work with them for 6 months and bring somebody with completely new ideas in.
But he openly stated that. He openly stated that.
Let me get in real quick. I think Yago's trying to come in.
So, he just made a good point, right? You appoint the guy for 6 months, of course, because you sacked Ole. Now, you guys know he has a certain style of playing, right, which is the pressing. So, he would definitely need time to, implement that. Now, what's going to happen after the 6 months? After him implementing that, high pressing style, you're going to bring in another coach? I just feel like the United board, everything has to do with the board. You appoint a guy for 6 months, okay? You guys know he has a specific way of playing. And obviously, it's going to take some time for the players to adjust to that type of play. So after the 6 months, you guys want to keep him or appoint another coach? So with me, I just feel like from the word go, you guys knew how he plays. So it's either you guys give him a 2-3 year contract or just keep Carrick and then bring in whoever you want to bring at the end of the season. Because however he wants to play, the players will just adjust to that. And then another coach comes in with his own style of play. It's just I just think everything is just abysmal. But again, to answer your question, do I think he's doing a decent job? Yeah, as Daniel said, the first game we played against Crystal Palace, everything was great. The first 30 minutes, and then I think the players were worn out. They were tired because they couldn't keep that pace anymore.
Yeah.
After that game, United we've been very, very poor. It's just that we've not lost the game, but I don't know how long it's going to take for these players to adjust to it because Wan-Bissaka can do the high pressing. Dalot is not really good, okay? Maguire, I don't know why he can't play high pressing. So it has to do with the players themselves. If you watch United, they can't cope with that high pressing style of play. So I don't know if the players need time. You can give them 1 year. Maguire can play high pressing. Wan-Bissaka can play high pressing. Fred can play. McTominay, he's decent. He's okay. But Ronaldo, come on. He can't adjust to that high pressing play. Cavani, he's doing okay, but he's 34 years old. He's 34 years old. Rashford, indecisive. It's just too much going on. I don't think he would do as we expected him to do because when he came in, the media were hyping him like, Tuchel, Klopp. Okay, they learn from him, but then they have their own different approach of playing. So the fact that they learned something from him doesn't mean that he's just going to come in and just change everything. It doesn't happen like that. Should we keep him for more than 6 months? I think we should, right? Because if the players adjust to his style of play, why would you bring in another coach in the next 6 months? It makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't know, but I would like to think that they would want to keep him for more than 6 months.
You know what's interesting about this?
And then please get Filling out. I think Karen is out. Get Filling because there's no point of you sacking Ole, leaving his coaching staff. What's the point of that? And then bringing in another coach. It's just everything is just all over the place. I don't know what is going on. I hope they can figure it out. But then if you want to implement his style of play, you have to keep him for more than 6 months. That's what I think.
So, you know what's interesting about what you said about the tactics? The formation that he's playing, it seems like that 4-2-2 where he's playing two attacking midfielders, but then it looks like Bruno is on the left side of the attacking mid, and he looks like he's lost when he plays that position because he seems
Bruno,
like you kind of have to be. He's not the central attacking midfielder where he's pulling strings from left and right. He's playing like a winger / attacking midfield role where I don't know if it fits him. And then you put in another, because I don't think the United team is set up to have 2 strikers and 2 attacking midfielders.
No,
because you don't have 2 of both. You have better wingers than you have, those positions. So I don't know how
the best formation for this United squad is 4-3-3. Okay, having Bruno sit on top, and then you have the 2 wingers and the 1 striker. That would be the best fit. But then that's not his style of play. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, Bruno has been poor ever since this guy came in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because he's playing off.
What?
He's not playing his position.
Exactly.
He's lost.
My point here is, if Bruno is one of our best players, right, and you want to play that 4-2-2-2 formation he's playing, it's never going to work.
Yeah.
It's never going to work. That's why Bruno gets frustrated most of the time, throwing his hands, and that's not what he should be doing, but he's always complaining. Both him and Ronaldo always complaining on the pitch because they cannot adjust to the style of play. So I'm thinking, listen, if he can't play, well, you have a duty as a coach to drop him, because clearly he can't play. He doesn't fit in the style of play. You have Fred and McTominay in central midfield. That is not a good combination. It's just too much going on. I just hope they figure it out. I want to believe they will figure it out, but I don't see it happening.
It sounded like a new year. It sounded like a new year to same United.
I wouldn't say it's same United because, of course, for the past
New Year, same United.
Please. They're producing results. They've not lost the game. I'm not happy about that because, for instance, the game against Newcastle, there's no way our best player should have been De Gea. No way. No way. And our best player on the pitch was De Gea.
One thing I will say from an outside perspective, United has had the same problem for 4 years. United has to get the best out of their players. And you guys have one of the probably rosters that most teams in the world, management, ownership would want. But you guys haven't found a way to get the most out of your players. No matter who, and you guys are always just adding talent. It's just like you guys can't find, I don't know if it's culture or a combination of the board with team structure. Well, United has talent, but you can't get the best out of your talent. And as a soccer fan, it's kind of frustrating because you look at that roster on paper and you're like, wow. And you turn on the TV and I sound like Yaga, like, why aren't they dominating? Why don't they have possession, But, it's still fun to watch because the names, but the problem I've seen with a lot of big teams too, even if you watch PSG or anything like that, those big teams, a lot of names, and you don't see the best out of your 11-man roster, and that's a little frustrating, especially as a fan. I can imagine you guys probably worse than me when I watch my team on Sunday.
All right, so let's end the episode. Our final topic. Since Robbie's here, we gotta talk about his team. We talked about everybody else's team, but Juventus. I wish I could tell you good things about it, but Juventus are 5th, 12 points off the pace. The one thing that they have going on, at least they won their group, right? They won the Champions League group, which Robbie made sure let me know. But then again, hey, we may have come in second, but we got the best draw out of everybody in the draw. But Rob, when coming into the season, Allegri, right? He was the hottest free agent manager. I don't remember, before Conte, Allegri was it. He was being linked with Arsenal, United wanted him. Chelsea, he was linked with him when we fired Lampard. He finally comes back to Juve. It has not gone how we thought an Allegri team would be going. You're 5th right now. I think it's 12 points off the top. You're looking outside. And I don't know if you agree with me, but getting top 4 in the Italian league isn't supposed to be difficult. Or would you disagree with that? But where is it? Because I'm looking at it and I'm looking at Inter, AC Milan, Juventus should be automatic. And then everybody else, Napoli and all the other teams should be fighting for 4th, right? Why hasn't it gone smoothly as I guess you thought? And are you still confident Allegri can come through?
Yeah, he came in at a very different time. So when Allegri took over the first time was right after Conte, and Conte had just won 3 straight and rebuild a team and a roster from coming from second division. You know? So he was able to build on that and make 2 Champions League finals and all that. We let Allegri go, and I don't know what we were thinking with signing Sarri, who doesn't fit our style of soccer. I mean,
you should have asked me. I would have told you that was the best signing.
I mean, as Juve fans, we were ready for something new. We're a very traditional, tactical, defensive team.
Yeah.
You know, nothing flashy. Just go out there, grind out games, which is why most people don't like watching Italian soccer, because it's kind of boring if you're not really like a tactical fan. But Sarri coming in, and then Ronaldo comes in, and we weren't ready for the type of superstar that Ronaldo is, man. We weren't ready as a club. The locker room wasn't ready for him. It was just wrong timing. And we bought him with that intention of like having the investment come back, and COVID hit, so we didn't even see the revenue come back with the ticket sales and the big games, you know. So he came back now at an interesting time, because with COVID, financially the team's different. Paratici is gone. He's with Spurs. Giuseppe Morata is with Inter, and Inter just won the league last year. They're looking like they're going to win it again. So the office is different. The locker room is very different. I think Buffon just got ridiculed in Italy for saying that when he came back from PSG, Ronaldo had changed the locker room. He said what I said now, that we weren't ready for Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But, you know, the press turned it into him saying that Ronaldo was the reason why that Juve wasn't doing well, and he came back and fixed what he said. Just the type of players we have, man, are just completely different from what we used to have. And then the players we did have are aging out or gone. So he's in a point in time now where financially the club is not where we want to be. We still are traditionally expected to have continued success, especially domestically. So he has to find the locker room and find the players and find the culture that we haven't had for the past 3 years. So he's a great manager. Very intense, very demanding. He is very tactical, which some players might not like it. So when we have big names, you know, like Ronaldo or something like that, it might not fit into his tactical plan. So I feel like he's going to get us to where we want to be eventually, but it's not going to happen this season. It might not happen next season, depending on what we do with our contract.
So it looks like a rebuild, right? Do you think it feels like a rebuild? Yeah?
Definitely a rebuild. I agree with that. It's a different type of rebuild, because we're not starting from scratch how we did before when he came. It's more of like we're transitioning from
older pillars,
what we used to be, dealing with COVID and trying to build something new. And I think you can tell in the kind of signings we've done, it's never like we come out and splash cash out. It's,
you guys love the free agent. Free agent signings.
We're going to swatch Pjanic with money for Arthur. We're going to sign a free agent here. And the one thing I will say, because we were so focused on getting stars and talent, we did a terrible job with our youth. And somebody like Cuti Romero, he's on loan with Genoa. I think we're going to sign him. They put him out on loan again with Atalanta, option to buy. He ends up being an Italian Defensive Player of the Year, and now he's in the EPL doing a great job.
Romero,
and that's just one example, and he was our player, and we just let him walk out the door, you know. So it's difficult. The club is trying to find itself, but I do think Allegri is the right man for the job, because it's not going to happen overnight, and he's going to get the time he needs. And I think by the end of the season, we will be top 4, but we're not going to win the league this year, and it's all transition. We got to fix contract. And he's the right man for the job. He is.
It seems like you're far off, because I'm looking at the league right now. You're only 4 points away, so it's not too bad.
Inter's up there, but we're
12 points. 12 points is a lot. 12 points is a lot.
So in regards to Juve, I think, again, the project that they have going on is, again, a work in progress, right? And there are some sort of like similarities between their project with United project, but that's not the topic for discussion. But the similarity here is, again, they do have a roster that you think that, hey, they should be able to be winning games or shutting down the league at some point, which in reality is not really happening at the moment. And with their case, I think once they go through this whole transitional period, they should be able to compete for the Scudetto going forward. But I was actually impressed with how they have been approaching this season, and in particular in the Champions League, how they've gone try to win the group, and looking forward to see what's going to happen in the round of 16. If they're able to get past round of 16, I think they would be a good team to be looking out for in terms of Champions League. But obviously in the league, I don't foresee them doing anything spectacular. I mean, most likely they might finish like third or fourth.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that would probably be a success, right, Rob? I mean, if you finish, your expectation right now is just getting the Champions League places and then build from next year.
Yeah. It looks like Inter's going to run away with the league. So everybody after that is just fighting. AC Milan has a history recently of dropping points at the end of the season. So they're second, they're third. They're probably going to drop. Napoli's playing really well. Atalanta's playing really well. So Juve is fighting for that top four, which I think we will get eventually, especially if we stay healthy. But yeah, I'm happy with the top four finish and then making a run to Champions League, man. I mean, he knows. As soon as we beat Chelsea, he was the first person I'd tell. So,
nah, low-key, I was mad about that loss, but then it ended up being a blessing in disguise because legit, when you in the Champions League group, you want to win it to get an easier tie, and the tie couldn't have been. We saying it easy now, but it worked out perfect for us. So hey, you could have that win.
At least what happened to Madrid didn't happen to any one of us.
Right. So hey, I'm gonna be, if I can finish second and get a good draw like that, I'm all for it. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, Juve, I don't think you guys don't spend as much money, right? Because I mean, you're not a big splasher, but when free agents are starting to become available, I don't know if you guys are in with, like Pogba coming back. I haven't heard anything like that. I don't know if that's in play, but when you have a good coach like Allegri, he attracts good players. You're going to get the players you want. You're going to get the players that you need. Is Juventus, the prestige is there, the coach is there. So I don't think it's something that's going to take long. It's going to depend if they want to build the youth up. Because when I'm speaking of the youth, they're lit. He hasn't boomed like I thought he would. When he signed that guy, I thought he was going to be like elite level, but he hasn't been elite level. And I don't know what's going on with that. But I don't know if you guys want to focus on the youth or Chiellini is still going and Bonucci can still play. Do you just kind of tell them, hey, you got to go for somebody else to play? I don't know how they approach that, but something has to happen. But I'm sure Allegri has a plan.
My issue with that, with Italian soccer in general, Italian soccer in general doesn't give youth a lot of chance.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you look at other countries like England, Saka and Martin.
Germany is just a whole bunch of kids.
Other countries give youth a chance to flourish, right?
Yeah.
I think Mourinho has a winger right now. I forget his name. The kid is doing great, and they're playing. Yeah, but those traditional historically, Italians don't give the youth a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually the smaller teams, and then the bigger teams buy them, and we'll do a Chelsea move where we'll buy them and loan them out.
Yeah.
But sometimes, that's not what a player needs. And I think now, because Allegri has no choice, he's giving the youth a chance because we don't have the money, like you said, to buy the players. So it could be a blessing in disguise. But like with Matthias, man, he came to learn, but now I'm worried that he might leave.
Yeah.
Because the team is not what he thought it was going to be. And when teams like Barcelona and Man U and all these big cash teams are splashing cash and knocking on his door, and his agent, who his agent is, I wouldn't be surprised. But I wouldn't say he hasn't been good, man, because every game he plays, dude, he's man of the match for me, or he's the best defensive player in the field. The problem is he's sharing time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for him to get consistent. If you see somebody stand out for 4 or 5 games or stretch, that guy's legitimately, the best player. But if he has one good game here, bench, plays a Champions League game, rotating time with Chiellini, Bonucci, and it's it's not, he doesn't get that stretch of games that you need as a player for confidence. And that's why I would agree with you. He hasn't been great, but it's not his fault because he's been good, but he hasn't played consistently.
Played enough. All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, that's our episode, guys. Thank you, Rob, for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, if Juventus are messing up again, I'll make sure that I'm always looking for the wrong time to invite somebody to come explain. But
I can tell.
But I'll reach out again if we're recording again and it's something interesting. I'll just
man, of course. But this is awesome, man. I love what you guys do, man. I love watching you guys. It's funny, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Rob. Listen,
it's a pleasure having you here, man.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you. Man.
We're gonna set them up good. Juventus. Your prediction to end the season, bro.
My prediction: 3rd place, Champions League quarterfinal.
Ibn.
Well, as I said earlier, I think they're going to finish top 4, right? I mentioned that, and I was hoping for them to also get past round of 16. So he's about right around that place.
Any trophy? Do you think you have a chance to win a trophy this year, Rob?
Honestly, we have to play the Coppa Italia, which will probably be our only trophy. But that's always towards the end of the season when teams are like, if they had a long season, So I'm not sure, depending with contracts and stuff, because, man, Dybala still hasn't signed. We're looking to drop some players, pick some players up. So anything can happen. I think that's the only trophy we have a chance of getting, but I'm not very optimistic. To be honest. So.
There you go. All right, man. Thank you, guys. Hey, Rob, thank you for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
So, yeah, that's our episode. It's the United situation. We'll keep an eye on it. We all know Lukaku might be playing for Newcastle by January 31st. You never know, but we'll see. So for me, from Daniel earlier, from Ibn, Yaga, and special guest Rob, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next episode.